Hello, YouTube fans. This is TheSkullKlown. Hopefully, you guys can hear me. I know I have my fan on and stuff like that, but bear with me. Hopefully, I don't have to start over with this video or anything like that. But I'm here to talk about Inspector Gadget, the live-action movies. Finally, I'm gonna have to talk about these, and let me go front a little bit here so I can actually start real quick. But hold on real quick. Alright, sorry guys, sorry about that. I just want to get ready while I'm talking about this and roll up a little bit of a doobie, you know. So let's do that while we're talking about Inspector Gadget. So I want to say this right now. I watched the Inspector Gadget TV show as a kid, and I loved it. I fucking loved it. I was kind of as a little kid. I was kind of
minus the cup.
Hold on. All right, sorry about this, guys. I was kind of when I was a kid, I kind of really didn't like the Inspector Gadget character because I thought he was really fucking annoying, and I thought he was supposed to be this badass character, you know, when I was watching it as a kid. And then Penny and Brain are like the best parts of the show. And Gadget is just there just to get, you know, all the recognition that Penny was doing, you know? So that always pissed me off as a kid, because I never actually, you know, get it, you know, but I got it, you know? As you get older, you get it, you know? Sometimes we get it in the beginning when we watch these as kids, and then other times we'll just be like, what the fuck am I watching? Why is this guy like this? And then when you grow up older, you'll be like, ah, that's why, you know? He's supposed to be a bubbling buffoon. You know? So, let's talk about the Matthew Broderick Inspector Gadget movie. This movie has no reason to be horny the way it is. This movie is horny for no fucking goddamn reason. I am dead serious. I don't know what Disney was thinking, but hey, sometimes Disney is just horny one day and they'll be like, yeah, we're going to put it in our movies, motherfucker, whether you like it or not. And I'm like, kids are watching this, and they're like, and? Dude, are we here to satisfy you? Fuck off. Seriously. That's how they are. That's literally how Disney is. Matthew Broderick as Inspector Gadget, he's not bad. It's just that he's giving his Matthew Broderick stick, which is not bad. It's just that it's not meant for this movie. And the thing is, you know that Matthew Broderick was not doing that bad because he does great as the evil Gadget. In my opinion, they should have kept him as the evil Gadget and hire somebody else to play Inspector Gadget. Maybe Dan Aykroyd, because I just recently saw a movie not that long ago called Dragon or something like that. Hold on, it's a buddy cop movie with Tom Hanks. Hold on, I just want to pronounce that movie real quick. I just watched it on YouTube. It was free on YouTube. It sounds like, hold on, Dan Aykroyd and Tom Hanks movie. So it's called Dragnet. That's what it's called, Dragnet. And the movie's actually pretty funny. It's not outright hilarious or anything like that. If you watch a buddy cop movie, and you know the standard of a buddy cop movie, this came out in 1987. So this is probably one of the movies that make the standards of a buddy cop movie. Well, one of the standards of a buddy cop movie. And hey, look, it's on Netflix. And I thought it was fine. I think Dan Aykroyd, the way he was talking, would kind of remind me of Inspector Gadget. I'm not kidding with you. Watch this movie. Here, I'll show you the title of the movie just in case if I fuck it up. Watch this movie. If it is on Netflix, if you have Netflix, and it is free on YouTube, by the way. And can I mention this? Why is YouTube movies, when they show YouTube movies on YouTube that you can buy or watch for free, why is it better than some of these streaming services? I want to give you that question right now. I remember telling my mom that. I'm like, I was scrolling, trying to find a movie, and then we eventually watched this movie. And I was like, I literally told her, I'm like, YouTube has better movies than any other streaming service that I've been going to. And she's like, you think? I'm like, yeah, it is. You know, it might not have everything, but when you look down and you see the variety that they have, you'll be like, you know what? That's something I can actually go back to. When I go to Netflix or Disney Plus, I'm over here like, what's on YouTube? I'm dead serious. Because what am I going to watch on there? There might be like a few things that interest me, but overall, like I need something that has a lot of shit that would interest me for me to stay in, and YouTube has that shit. That's just me when it comes to movies and video games and all that shit. You know, that's just me. But moving on with Inspector Gadget, I just wanted to mention that real quick because I think Dan Aykroyd would have been a great Inspector Gadget. Most people are like, what about Tom Hanks? Tom Hanks would have not been a bad choice, but I still think Dan Aykroyd would have been perfect as Inspector Gadget. Because when you see him in this movie, Dragnet, he literally looks like Inspector Gadget. He even talks like Inspector Gadget. The only difference is that he's not wearing the cloak, but the hat is the same. You know, all he needs is the cloak, and he's good. You know, so going back to the main movie of Inspector Gadget. The live action one with Matthew Broderick. Again, I don't think he did bad at all. The heroine, the female protagonist, is pretty sexy, pretty fine, and she looks good in that fucking dress. Oh my god, that blue dress? Woo-hoo-hoo. I wanted more scenes with that. Could we get that? Disney, you want to be horny? I want more scenes of that. And the thing is, too, there supposedly was more scenes, but then they had to cut it out for time. I would have loved to see the original movie of what they wanted for this movie. And still to this day, I keep thinking that there was an extended edition of this movie showing what we didn't see in the theater. I keep thinking that there is a version of Inspector Gadget that's out there that has that. And I feel like no one doesn't talk about it. I'm sure it is out there. But I feel like a lot of people be like, oh, yeah. And I'm like, what do you mean? Maybe it's not as good, but at least it's faithful for what the filmmakers wanted. You know? That's how I always feel like. That's just me. Even if a filmmaker does something bad, as long as they get their vision out there, that's fine. You know, there's so many video game developers, so many novel people. There's so many people that make movies and shit like that. When they have a pet project, and it doesn't succeed, some people get confused. Some people be like, do you really wanted this? And it's like, well, yeah, I don't care if no one hated it or liked it. I just wanted to do it because I wanted to do it. And I can. Can't blame them. You know? So, Dr. Claw. I'll say this right now. I like the claw in this movie. Like the prosthetic claw, it looks great in this movie. And it's so good that they even used it in the sequel. That's how good it looks. And some people might be like, oh, but I like the arm that they showed in the cartoon. You know, it wasn't really a claw, but it was more like a hand that's metal and shit like that. And I'm over here looking back at that hand, I'm over here like, it's just a fucking gauntlet. It's just a gauntlet. And by the way, when they literally show what Dr. Claw looks like as a toy from the cartoon, it's very disappointing. That is stupid. You made him look like Doc Brown, but evil. It's like if Doc Brown and Judge Doom had a baby. There's your Dr. Claw in the animated series. What? You know what Dr. Claw looks like from the animated series? You know what he looks like to me? The main villain that's from Food Fight. That bad animation movie? Yeah, that's what he looks like. You remember when Doc Brown voiced the character in that movie too? When he looks like Einstein and shit like that, or Doc Brown himself? Yeah, that's what he reminds me of. That is sad. That's fucking sad. That is sad. I would have never thought in a million years that Dr. Claw looked like that. That's why I like Inspector Gadget too, because I'm all like, yes, that's why I kind of figured what Dr. Claw would look like. If he's out there in the public, he will hide his face. Where you think he's going to wear a mask? Okay, cool. But at that point, might as well go out and put the Vado shit on it. You know? If you all going to go all out with it. You know? There is a theory saying that what if Dr. Claw is actually the original Inspector Gadget while he got into an accident but they replaced him with a robot Gadget with a, you know, so the Gadget that we know is actually a robot, not the real Inspector Gadget, basically. Not a bad theory. Not a bad theory. But does it hold weight? No. It doesn't. It doesn't hold weight at all. It's just a fun little theory that fans can just talk about, you know? So, I think the action scenes in this movie are kind of fun, especially for kids. I watched this movie as a kid. I didn't watch it at the theater, but I watched it a lot on Disney Channel. Well, I watched two more than one a lot. But one is not bad. I don't hate Inspector Gadget 1. Again, I think Matthew Broderick does fine for what he does. And he gets the character of Inspector Gadget because in one of the scenes in the movie, you see Robber's trying to steal a car and he comes right in and opens the car for them. That is Inspector Gadget. That is Gadget right there. Gadget would do that something stupid. And when I saw that shit in the movie, and when I saw that shit from Matthew Broderick, I'm over here like, okay, he gets the character. He understands the character. But apparently Disney or some executive, or maybe him himself, didn't go all the way with it. You know? They basically were like, well, we have Matthew Broderick, so might as well use Matthew Broderick instead of grabbing him and telling him to be Inspector Gadget. You know? You know? So that's just me. But he chose the scenery as a bad guy, as the villain. As the evil Gadget. He eats the scenery, man. Matthew Broderick is having a good time playing as the bad guy. You could tell maybe they filmed the stuff as him as a bad guy first, and then when they filmed him as Inspector Gadget, he was just like, well, I did all the fun stuff already. So, alright, here it is. It kind of seems like it. And if it's not like that, if they didn't directed him as a villain first and then him as Inspector Gadget, if they didn't do that, then okay, fine. But it kind of seems like it with the actor-wise. Especially when we see the movie. He's having more fun playing as the villain than the hero. What? Which, look, I can understand. Playing as the bad guy, especially if you're playing these wrestling games and you be as the bad guy, it's so fun to be bad. It really is. You get all the chicks, you know? You get all the fame, you get the glory, but what do you get? Loneliness at the end of the day. But, yeah, man, I think Matthew Broderick just chooses scenery as the villain. He should have got another actor to play Inspector Gadget. Because if I saw Matthew Broderick being good as that villain, I would have been like, yeah, you're going to be that while we hire somebody else to be Inspector Gadget. I would have told Disney about it. I don't care if Disney's like, no, we're going to go with Matthew Broderick. I'd be like, I don't give a shit. We're hiring somebody else that can chew the scene like he's chewing the scene as a villain. Come on, you're not seeing this, Disney? You know? That's how sometimes I feel like when Disney makes these movies, especially the early 2000 movies, they were either going with the punches or going with the emotions and not really thinking of what they're putting on the screen. That's how I kind of feel with these late 90s and early 2000 Disney movies. I always felt that way with these Disney movies when I was growing up with them. Always. Like, they always had a charm, obviously, but you knew that they were not going to be the big blockbuster hand-drawn animation ones. Because they're not going to throw as much money as they would do with the other ones. As what they do with now they would throw money at the live action stuff. But back then, they were like, throwing money at the live action shit. Are you crazy? We're Disney. We're animation. We're not going to do this shit. But the Disney of now will look at Disney back then and be like, you're stupid. But the Disney back then will look at them and be like, no, you're stupid. For literally wanting to kill animation because you don't care for it. You're stupid. By the way, hi Warner Brothers, you're stupid too. Seriously. The old Disney and the old Warner Brothers will look at their companies right now and say that shit to them. Be like, you're stupid, you're a disgrace, and you don't care about animation. Get the fuck out of my face. And the Inspector Gadget movie is a cartoon movie. Could we talk about that? Inspector Gadget has Toon Force. I talked about Toon Force on this channel before, but yes, I'm always going to mention some characters that have Toon Force. Inspector Gadget has Toon Force. So does Beetlejuice. And I would literally, if anyone wants to deny me, I will have receipts to make you shut the fuck up. Alright? I'm dead fucking serious. Alright? You mean to tell me Inspector Gadget doesn't have Toon Force? And you mean to tell me Beetlejuice doesn't have Toon Force? Okay. Okay, yeah, go tell yourself that. Go tell yourself that, boo-boo. Seriously. If someone's going to be like, well, Beetlejuice wasn't in Toon Force until he was in the animated series and then the sequel of Beetlejuice. And I'm like, I would have looked at you like, then apparently you never saw the original Beetlejuice then. Fucking prick. Seriously. Yo, man. So, and the gadgets that Inspector Gadget does is really great, in my opinion. Penny in this movie, the first movie, Penny does not get much screen time. Same thing with the dog. And that sucks. And the thing is too, Nostalgia Critic has pointed out that like, well, the dog is live action, he's not really animated, so you can't really do anything with the dog and stuff like that. And you know what? He's not gone, but he's not right either. Yeah, making the dog CGI, making Brain CGI and making him do what you see in the cartoon and translating that to live action could look cringeworthy. But guess what? You can use a puppet, you fucking idiot. You don't have to use a real dog. And that's the thing. They're all planning to do another Inspector Gadget movie, a remake and shit like that, and I do not want Brain to be fucking CGI. If you're gonna use CGI, use animatronic and puppetry too, you fucking prick. You're Disney. Don't have an excuse to CGI the fucking mess out of this shit. Go fuck yourself. That's the same complaint that people tell you when you make these Star Wars movies. Stop making these characters CGI. Use puppets. That's when people look at you, Disney, and you're like, you can't use fucking puppets? You want to put CGI over this shit? And yet you can't even go to the Jim Henson Company and ask them to make a few Muppets that are probably less cheaper than the fucking CGI that you put on the fucking goddamn screen. You fucking prick. And the reason Disney does that is because they don't want to give credit to other people. Well, we have more people here, we have to give them the credit too, so fuck that shit. You know how these companies are. They rather not work with people. They rather do it all by themselves and not figure out and then fumble. Square Enix. You know when a video game company tries to make their own little graphics engine and it sucks and makes their game bad because they don't want to pay for fucking the Unreal 4 engine and shit like that? That's sad. That's sad. That's sad. That's sad. Because we've seen Square Enix try to do that, and it's failed all the time because they cannot do it right. They cannot make their good engines. And guess what? Disney's the same way. They cannot make a good engine. They need to make that. They need to get it from somebody else that can make it better than them. That's why we have directors and writers that can do it better than the company itself. Why do you think the company itself hires people that are like that? You know? And that's why we got Inspector Gadget 2. Inspector Gadget 2 is more closer and more faithful to the original cartoon. And what's the guy's name that played Inspector Gadget in this one? Frank something, right? I think he was born to play as Gadget. Alright? This guy right here. Let's see. There it is. Oh yeah, the first one came out in 1999, and the second one. Hold on. Let me go back. Hold on. I gotta double check. Yes, the first movie came out in 1999, and the sequel came out in 2003. 99, 2000, 2001, 2, and 3. 5 years. It took them 5 fucking years to make a sequel. It's not unheard of, but back then, people were like, yeah, this is gonna suck. Nowadays, people don't care about that. They'll be like, finally, you took your time. But back then, people were like, oh, you rushed this shit. You know? It's. I'm not saying it's still not like that, but I wanna say one thing with the Inspector Gadget poster. The poster, this poster, because this poster, I always thought this poster was kind of funny for Inspector Gadget 2. Most people are like, well, why do you think it's funny, ChUCKY? Why do you think it's so funny? Well, look at this poster of Inspector Gadget 2. Look at this poster. It's a good poster, but does the woman remind you of anything? It literally looks like Inspector Gadget meets Carmen Sandiego. Am I not wrong? She looks like Carmen Sandiego, and that's probably the inspiration for the design. But they didn't change the design. Tell me it doesn't look like Carmen Sandiego meets Inspector Gadget. And by the way, I will watch that shit. I will watch that movie. Could we get that movie? Could we get a movie like that? Instead of rebooting Inspector Gadget, just make another Inspector Gadget movie. People have said this with other movies before. Instead of making a remake or a reboot, just make another movie. It doesn't have to be part of the series or anything like that. Just make a fucking another movie. And if you want to tie it in, okay, cool. But you don't have to. Like that new Alien movie, it does its own thing. It's part of the whole grand universe of Alien, which makes sense because you're in outer space. Same thing with Star Wars. That's why when people hate these side Star Wars movies, I'm over here, or shows, I'm over here like, you're good? Are you good? It's a galaxy far, far away. But apparently you want to stay in one specific part of one galaxy. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Any Star Wars fan that thinks that way, go fuck yourself. You're not a Star Wars fan. You're not a Star Wars fan. A Star Wars fan would want to see every fucking corner of the fucking galaxy in Star Wars. Not one part of the galaxy that has your favorite precious fucking characters like Luke and Leia. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. I say it again. Go fuck yourself. Because it's so stupid. It's stupid. It is. It's stupid. So let's go back to Inspector Gadget 2. The actor that plays Inspector Gadget is, okay, not Frank. It's French Stargot. I hope I'm saying his name right. I probably butchered his name. But he does a great job as Inspector Gadget. That naiveness, the fucking not being aware of the world. Technically, you could say naiveness, but again, it was, they picked a great actor to play Inspector Gadget, but a lot of actors, a lot of people that love this movie look at this actor and they said, damn man, I love you as Inspector Gadget, but Disney fucked you over, and you kind of fucked yourself over too, mainly because now Disney's using you to do other movies that were bad, like Home Alone. Remember that Home Alone movie that Disney made? Now Home Alone 3, Home Alone 4. When they had to recast Macaulay Culkin as Kevin. Remember that? Remember that? There were some moments in that movie that I enjoyed, like the villain being attached to the wet bandits and stuff like that. I like that. But other than that, don't watch that movie. I think it's worse than Home Alone 3. And I've talked a lot about Home Alone 3 sometimes. Sometimes I love it, sometimes I hate it, you know? Because I have a soft spot sometimes with it, but other times I'm just like, damn, man. If somehow you connected this with Macaulay Culkin, or somehow he came in and helped you or something like that, somehow I feel like it would be a better movie or some shit. You know? Apparently they couldn't pay him at all. That just tells me you didn't want to fuck over the money. To be quite honest with you, I would have done it anyways. I don't give a fuck. Because he has to be part of this. He has to be part of the franchise somehow. That's just me. Because Macaulay Culkin is Home Alone. Sorry. He is. He's Home Alone. He will always be Kevin McAllister. Hands down. And by the way, his brother with the glasses in Home Alone 1 and 2, guess who he became? Guess who he became? If you're a Scott Pilgrim fan, you know what he became. Most people were like, wait a minute. Wait, don't fuck with me. Yes. He became the gay roommate of Scott Pilgrim, Wallace Wells. The awesome, epic roommate, man. Yo, Wallace Wells is fucking hilarious. And the actor is awesome, to be quite honest with you. Seriously. But that's a little fun note right there, if you didn't know, you know? So, the actress that plays G2, I've seen doing other stuff. I think she does really good. The actor that plays Dr. Claw, is not bad either. You do see his face sometimes, but hey, what else are you gonna do? At least they keep him back in the lighting and stuff like that. And I like his design, you know. I like his design. He has you have him with a trench coat. You still have his cat, obviously. But I think in the cartoon it's a gray cat with stripes on it, not like a white cat. You know, I know some people get pissed off with like, oh, it's not that accurate. Even the symbol of the claw, even the logo of Claw is not the same thing as the TV show. Oh my god! I'm like, but yeah, it's there, isn't it? Yeah. Okay then shut the fuck up. The reason I say that is because that's one of the reasons why we still don't have nice things. Seriously, man. Seriously. Let me tell you something. Ever since the pandemic happened, a lot of people are looking at these movies that they talk shit about and actually are appreciating them. I just saw a video with Joe Rogan literally telling Adam Sandler that all his movies, yes, even the bad ones, kept him watching during COVID. Why? Because it made them laugh, it made them forget shit, and it made them feel good for the future. And if a bad movie can do that, then I think you did a successful thing. That's just me. Even if it's been panned by critics and audiences, if you can look at a movie and have a good time with it and put you a smile on your face, and if you can forget about the bullshit, then guess what? You did a good job. You did a good job. Movies are supposed to get you out of reality anyways. What do you think the whole point of the freaking Depression was? During the Depression, when no one didn't have money, people still went to the movie theaters. Okay? While people had no money. Think about that. Think about that. So, that's crazy. I just have to talk about some of this stuff. That's what keeps me going with some of this stuff when I talk about movies and stuff like that and video games. I have to give you some tips and some hot takes sometimes, guys. I do. So, with the Inspector Gadget movie, I think Penny, the actress that they got for Penny, is really great, in my opinion. I think she did really good in this one. The actress that played Penny, I think she did really good. The mayor in this movie is kind of funny. She's kind of funny. I think in the first movie, was she in the first movie? Yeah, I think she was in the first movie. I think she was. What is it? Mick Kibber is actually kind of funny. The cartoon villains that Claw has, they're such a generic cartoon villains, and I love them. I love them, man. Never change. Never change. Seriously. Never change. Seriously. You can't change that shit. Why would you? You know? Seriously. This movie, let's talk about other stuff before I talk about the ratings for these movies. Overall, what did I think about Inspector Gadget 2? I think it's fun. I think it is better than the first one. There is more stuff to do with Penny and and with Gadget and stuff like that. There's more of a relationship between her and Gadget and stuff like that, which is great because we didn't get that a lot in part two. I mean, in part one, but at least in part two, you get those moments. I love in the beginning of this movie. It shows how Gadget is literally a buffoon to the bitter end. Literally, he sees a fucking old lady driving 23 miles per hour, and the sign says 20, and the speed limit says 23 miles per hour. But since he's a robot, like half human, half robot, he is so nitpicky. It's literally like 23 miles per hour, point three. Oh, that's too much of the speed limit. Arrest her. That is Inspector Gadget, man. That is Inspector Gadget. If Inspector Gadget was real, he will fuck so many shit up. So many shit up. And I guarantee you, they won't even throw him away. They would still keep him. Because, let's be honest with ourselves, mostly all the cops are the same way. They're just not robots. Or maybe they are. Oh, how dare you? My uncle's a cop. My father is a cop. Okay, cool. They're surrounded by fucking robots. And demons. Just saying. And if you don't believe that, then you have no idea what type of world you live in. You have no idea what type of world you live in. Seriously. But don't worry. That's going to change anyways. Have you noticed the planet's changing? Yeah, the bad people are running away. Well, they can't. They're just dying. But moving on with that. These Inspector Gadget movies has a special place in my heart. Obviously, I like the second one more. I've seen the second one more times than the first one. Hell, I watched the second one first than the first one when I grew up. You know? So, I enjoy it. I try to show it to my niece. My niece didn't really watch it at all. I showed her a clip of it when Inspector Gadget is chasing Klown and everything like that. She got excited about seeing that. But I even showed her Jumanji. She's still too young for those movies because you know how they talk and they kind of slow before they get to the action and stuff like that. Yeah, she got bored real quick. But it's funny too because when we were her age, we could sit down and watch this shit just fine. It's just, again, different generations. This generation of kids sometimes, if it's not 3D animation, or if it doesn't have some 3D animation character in it, they're not going to watch it. You're not going to watch it. That's why people thought Space Jam 2 was the shit. Sorry. If the Looney Tunes are not being dicks to each other and they loving each other, that's not Looney Tunes. They're supposed to hate each other. They're supposed to fucking hate each other. I want to see Lola Bunny stick a fucking dynamite inside fucking Bugs' pants, and Bugs is like, wait, I thought you were flirting with me. That's why I want to fucking goddamn see. That's why I want to fucking see. Seriously. Oh, man. But I do like the openings to these movies when they show the Inspector Gadget theme, but also the logo of Inspector Gadget. I like those two openings, but I like the second one a lot more because it goes quicker. Then it says Inspector Gadget 2. Then when the number 2 is there, it opens, and then you go straight into the movie. That's good. I like that. Not bad editing in this movie, and the first movie, it has bad editing. It does, because in the first movie you get these transitions, and then you see like a weird thing. Like, for example, you see a transition and it shows like a polo stick, for example, and you're like, okay. Then another transition, you see a rubber ducky, and you're like, what the fuck is this shit? They don't do that in the second one. Thank goodness for that shit, because in my opinion, I think the more reason a lot of people hate the first Inspector Gadget movies because of that type of editing style. And if they took that editing style out, I guarantee you, people will look at the first movie a little bit more fondly. Not more fondly as like, oh, it's the best movie ever. But at least people would sit down and can actually manage to go through it, you know? So there is that. Um, that's just me. And yo, I love in the first movie too when they show the Inspector Gadget Manamor, and Gadget is just like, uh huh, oh yeah, yeah, I got all. The book is this fucking big, and he opens it. It's like, yeah, look at all this instructions. Just think about that, guys. Disney made a fucking book of an Inspector Gadget like this. I want to know what's in that book. If there was literally pages upon pages of the detail of what Gadget can do, I want to see that book. Instead of, you know how some movies they have a big book and then the actor picks one slide of where they actually drew it at and stuff like that, but the whole book is just blank. I don't want it to be that way. That destroys the mystery. That destroys the mystique of the book. You know? And if the book is really like that, you know what, Disney? Keep it inside a vault. Because I don't want to know. Seriously, Disney. Keep that shit inside a vault and let it collect dust and let it rot. Because if it's like that, let that shit rot. For real. Because the attention to detail for that book, that strategy book for Gadget, I'm over here like, I want to see that book. I want to see the details of it and everything like that in each page. And if it's not like that, then throw it away, Disney. Fucking throw it away. Seriously, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. You need to tell me, you're going to make an Inspector Gadget book, and you're not going to put it as detailed as a normal book that you buy off of shelves? Or that's not in the budget. We've seen movies that go all out with their budget. And you'd be like, that is a physical book that has a lot of shit in it. Like, for example, the Beetlejuice book. That when the main characters die and you see the book. I bet you anything, that book has a whole bunch of shit in it. But when they put it out for the public, it's just a notebook pad. Not really great. Not really, oh, yay! It's not really authentic either if you want to buy really good Beetlejuice merchandise. You know, and then when you have that book and you figure out that it's just a notebook, you're like, I don't want this. Why do I want this? It's like going back. I know I'm getting sidetracked, but it's like going back with the Harry Potter book, with Voldemort's book. At least with Voldemort's book, it makes sense that why it's blank. But you mean to tell me there's not a few things that Voldemort wrote when he was younger that's not in the book? Maybe it could have been like a secret type of thing, like you put it in water or something like that, and we'll actually show it. Something new, something fresh, something different. But no, it's a fucking notebook. But it says Tom Ritter in it, and we're going to make you pay $50 for it. That's stupid as fuck. Stupid as fuck. And you know, and now you know why my pet peeve is with that book. If Disney is just, like, basically not going full out with it. That's just me, man. Disney should go full out with it, but that's just me, man. These companies don't like to go full all out. They just like to make something and be cheap and move the fuck on. So, hey, man. What can you say, man? Everything's run by AI. Even Disney's telling you their movies are run by AI. Have you seen the She-Hulk show? Yeah. They've been telling you. They told you this already. And all of us have figured that out already. Oh, these movies are being run by AI-generated movies, and we're not wrong. Disney admitted it with the She-Hulk show at the end when they showed it. With the robot of Kevin and shit like that. Yeah. You guys really think that these people are making these movies and video games? You're high. You're stupid. You're stupid. You're stupid. That means you're not even paying attention to the world around you, and that's dangerous. That's dangerous. That means if I hang out with you and you don't know what's happening to the planet, I could get killed because of you. Because you can go fucking cuckoo and start killing people because you don't know what's going on around here. A person that doesn't know the truth is the most dangerous fucking goddamn person because they will repeat the history. It's the same thing with these companies. You don't learn from your history, you're going doomed to repeat it. Seriously, man. So, the Inspector Gadget movie 1 and 2 is good. They're good. They're fun. They're good. And I do recommend Wait until you, if you have kids, wait until they're like probably 10 or 11 for them to watch this movie. Right? Other than that, um, if you're a big Inspector Gadget fan, already you already watched these movies, and the people that hate on these movies and don't like to think of them as fun movies, guys, these are movies based on cartoons, okay? And you guys are acting like this is supposed to be Shakespeare or fucking what's that fucking stupid movie called? That's about fucking taxes and shit. Who gives a fuck about that movie? I'm dead serious. Citizens Kane, there it is. Fuck that movie. I would never get that movie at all. For real. I mean, I should end it right now before I start pissing off people that are movie buffs and they're like, "Oh, how dare you say that?" Well, guess what? I'm not gonna watch that movie because I don't care for it. Just like the original movie that inspired um Pee Wee's Big Adventure with the bike and stuff like that. Yeah, fuck that movie too. Cause who gives a fuck? What does it better? The Pee Wee's Big Adventure movie or the original? I bet you anything the Pee Wee's Big Adventure one does a fucking goddamn better, bitch. Seriously, man. I don't give a fuck what no one says. Well, you just like to piss people off, huh? Finally, you get to see what I'm talking about. If you went to my spiritual channel, you would know. So these movies are on Disney Plus. The second one got a 3.5 out of 10 on IMDb and got 40% on Rotten Tomatoes. Oh, that's not bad. And the first movie, wait no, the first movie. You're not gonna show me the first movie, you son of a bitch? You want me to fucking goddamn type it? Fucking prick ass motherfucking piece of shit. Wow, look at that. IMDb gave it a point up, while in the sequel they gave it a point down. IMDb gave it a 4.2 out of 10. While Rotten Tomatoes was like, yeah, the first one sucks, 20%, and then the second one's like, 40%. Closer to the cartoon. Oh, man. So, I'll see you guys later. I know I went on some tangents and all that shit, but hey, if you're watching this channel, then you came here to watch that shit. Look how much subscribers I have. Obviously, I'm doing something right. Okay? Seriously. Right? Sometimes a lot of people just don't want to talk about a movie. They also want to hear about a movie, but also hear opinions about other things, basically. But if you want to hear just a movie review, it's not this channel, right? At least not anymore. That type of stuff that I do in my channel died a long time ago. Ever since I started doing my thoughts and / opinions instead of review, that's when it died. All right, this is not a review channel anymore. I can give my thoughts and my opinions, but that's it. So, I'll see you guys later. If you guys enjoy these movies, cool. If you don't, that's fine too. You know, just don't hate on the people that enjoy it. You know, and the thing is, the McDonald's toys for the first Inspector Gadget movie was awesome. You can buy Inspector Gadget separately and put them together as a puzzle piece. That's awesome. That's awesome. I want to buy that. I want to buy that figure just for this just to show it off in this video. Cause that's badass. That is badass. You don't make toys like that they used to, man. The Inspector Gadget toy? Hold on, let me look this up before we end it here. Because that shit was awesome. That shit was beautiful. I remember having the hat, but I never got the whole thing of it because you have to collect all the pieces and stuff like that. But hey, man, you can get this, man. This is really cool. Hold on, this is a cool fucking toy. You guys are not gonna. Okay, fine, forget you. If you're not gonna do what I want you to do, then go fuck yourself. All right, seriously, go fuck yourself. You're not gonna let me do what I want you to do, then forget it. Seriously. So here it is. That's what it looks like. That looks freaking dope. Each of the body parts are so separately, literally, and you put it together and it looks awesome. And it looks pretty good. The toy itself does look like Matthew Broderick. So there is that. So if there was any highlight that came from the first movie, it is that toy. I'll say that right now. And that toy kind of reminds me of Mr. Potato Head, where you could take all the pieces out and then put it back together and stuff like that, and then see what you can do with it and stuff like that. Oh, I love it. So I will recommend getting that toy if you want to get it. It looks cool. Why wouldn't you get it? You know, I will get it. No, I might just get it next month because it looks cool. You know how people will see that on display and people are like, oh my god, you have that? Cool. You know, people will actually think that it is cool because, guys, it comes with fucking literally like pieces. Literally pieces. Like, for kind of like, look at this real quick. Look at that. Hold on. Look at that. You think the chest would come together? No, the chest is separately. Literally. Imagine getting the Inspector Gadget toy. You thought I was disappointed of just getting the hat? Imagine getting the front torso. All it is a button, and that's it. Doesn't do anything, doesn't make a sound or anything like that. It's basically a fidget spinner without being a fidget spinner. Yeah, that sucks. Now I'll see you guys later. Be safe. And tell me what you guys think about the toy of Inspector Gadget and the movies of Inspector Gadget. And my thoughts, my opinions of other things I mentioned in this video. Yeah, I know. Sorry. But sorry, not sorry. That's the reason why I almost have 600 subscribers. Because mostly all of them want to hear what I have to say.